Hi everybody, it's Mac. In this video, I'm going to show you how to add text and titles to your video. To do that, we're going to go to the second menu with this little A, and it's called text. And first, I want to talk about the motion titles. These are actually kind of new, and if this is your first time here, you can hit Get Started. Now, these motion titles, I believe, are only available for premium accounts or upgraded accounts. So if you have a free account, make sure that you're aware that you cannot publish it if it has any of these things in it. But if you're on a trial, I believe it is open and you can try them out and all that. So anyway, to see what it looks like, you click on it and you can kind of see the animation of that title on the right. Some of them are really cool, a little flashy. This one's one of my favorites because it has 3 colors and then they kind of all go away. Boom, boom, boom. And there's all sorts you could see here. This one's not too bad right here. And there's some simpler ones that are just, sample text just like that. And then there's a crazy one right here that I think is pretty, very fancy. It kind of flashes on the screen a lot. See that? And click it again. Boom, 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 and then your title. So a little bit more flashy for that one. But anyway, all sorts of different ones. And when you find the one you like, just like anything, to add it to your video, you take it from up here and you drag it down into video 1. Now to edit what it says, you can double click on it. And then notice you can change the color scheme here. So I'm going to go Christmas colors. And you can edit what it says. I don't want it to say top text, main text, bottom text. I want it to say my crazy video, by David or something. Also, if the fonts are not the size you want, you can hit manual and you can change the font for that text. You could also change the text style. It becomes preloaded, but again, all that is editable just by clicking the drop down and clicking what you want. Over here, you can transform it. You can move it around if you want. I don't want to, though. I want it to be centered, but you can play around with that. You could scale it down if you want to, all that stuff. So I'm going to hit Done Editing, and then you can see, it zoomed in again. Let me pull it out. There we go, and you can see what it looks like. So that's motion titles, which are really nice, but again, they are for upgrades. They have seasonal titles. This is brand new. They just started it this month, October of 2017. And same kind of deal. If you find one you like, drag it down, double click to edit what it says. Static titles are great too. These are titles that don't move. And this is great for if you just want information on the screen or you want to just have text on the screen on top of a picture or something like that. I usually just use the very first one called text. And just like the other one, you drag it down and you double click on it and you can edit the text here. You can also change the style of the text. You can change the color of the text. This is for like to fill in I think it fills in the bubble, like the box, I think. Let me check. Oh no, it's just the box around the text. I think this one fills in the box. There we go. So I'm just gonna hit the X to get rid of them because I don't like it. I just want green, but that's what it does. You can also change the size here of the font by making it bigger or smaller, up to you. You can also come over here and move the text. So if it's not on the right spot on the screen, you can just drag it where you want to when you're in the editing. The second menu over is animation. You can make this move, and it's similar to the animation for pictures. You tell it where to start, and you tell it where to end, and it will move in that direction. So for example, I like to start like off the screen, maybe down here, and then move like up there, and it will move from the bottom to the top. So let me back it up a little bit and you can see what that looks like here. something like that. Also with text, just like pictures, you can fix how much time it lasts. You can change that by going to the edge and dragging it out or dragging it in, however you want to do. However, with the motion titles, you can drag it out as long as you want, but after a certain point, it won't let you drag in. See, this one has to be minimum a little over 3 seconds, because it needs time to do those animations. So if it's not working, make sure you, if it's confusing you and you're like, why can't it go smaller? It might be because it needs that animation, that time for the animation, and could only go so small as far as the time. But typically you want a good 7 seconds for a title. But of course it just depends. If you are adding text, something I tell students a lot is if you have 2 sentences on there, that's kind of a lot usually, especially if it's informational. So what I'll have kids do is I'll have them put usually one sentence at a time, like one sentence, then some pictures, then another sentence, and some pictures, then another sentence, kind of like that. But always test it out and make sure that you have enough time to read it. Make sure the audience has enough time to read it before it moves on to the next thing. So always go back, read it out loud, make sure the audience has that time. And that's text. There are annotations as well. These are text for you can see right here, there's a dialog box or a pointing kind of box to say, hey, this is this. There's arrows and circles and stuff too that you can put on top of pictures, which are great to point out things. And that's titles.